So, Aaron, thanks very much for joining me on the Imaging of Things. How's Drupa been for you so far?
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. Yeah, really got busy on day 3 and day 3 and 4 were nuts.
Okay.
Really crazy.
And can you just introduce yourself and tell us which bit of EFI you work in, how long you've been in the industry, give us a bit of a background.
Sure. So I'm Aaron Tavakoli. I have been with EFI only 6 months, but I've been with the industry nearly 16 years. I've worked for Agfa, Adobe, and most recently Creo and Kodak. And I am responsible for what we call the value-added products, and that includes digital storefront, our e-commerce platform. That also includes our cross-media marketing technology, and that also includes a few other smaller products like imposition, shop floor data analytics. So it's a really varied and wide portfolio that I look after the marketing for.
Okay. And whereabouts are you based? Because I'm guessing you might be Australian.
I am Australian, and I never apologise for it. So.
Good. Nor should you.
I live in California, in Southern California,
okay.
South of LA.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's quite a lot of you Australians actually now based in California with EFI, aren't there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You spoke with my colleague Nick.
Yes.
A few days ago, and him and I have followed each other around the world and worked for many of the same companies. But yeah, it's a takeover.
So Aaron, I'd really like to ask you a little bit about DirectSmile.
Sure.
Okay, which is kind of automated marketing technology, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay, and it was so EFI during one of its acquisition sprees of the last couple of years brought DirectSmile into the fold.
Right.
Could you just explain to us a little bit about what that is, who it's for, what it does?
Absolutely. So as you're aware, DirectSmile is our cross-media marketing technology, and it's really an amazing suite of products, and it includes, in addition to the multi-channel marketing platform that drives email, drives landing pages, drives mobile messaging, drives QR code generation. It also includes some really powerful technology that the DirectSmile organization were pioneers in, and were the first to develop. And the technology I'm talking to there is the image personalization technology. So that's embedded in the suite as well, along with their VDP, their variable data printing technology.
And can you just explain a little bit more about image personalization?
Image personalization is, and this is what I tell everyone. You know when you see those pictures where your name is written in the sand? That's image personalization.
Okay.
So you can take any image, you can take any graphic, and you use special fonts and special technology to basically embed variable data into that image. And again, it's a great and very powerful way to make whatever media channel you're talking about, printed or online, to drive better adoption and more penetration.
And so one of the big things in particularly this sort of direct mail personalization kind of area is cleaning your data.
Right.
So I know that DirectSmile actually kind of helps you keep your data set clean, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does it do that?
Well, several ways. First of all, we have a data filter that enables you to actively, as you're generating or executing a campaign, you can physically filter data and ensure that the target you're hitting matches the profile, the audience profile of that campaign. But we also have an integration with a third-party data organization called AccuZip.
Okay.
And AccuZip actually provide nearline and offline data sort, NCOA, National Change of Forest in the US, where they do everything from sell and resell data.
Okay.
So a couple of different ways there.
Okay. And is DirectSmile really just kind of a commercial print thing, or can it be used in other ways?
No, not at all. Well, it's used by a lot of different organizations, not just commercial printers. It is obviously a marketing automation platform, so it's used by some larger companies and some universities, for example, who are using it to manage their outbound and their both online and offline marketing programs. And it's used by Fortune 1000s, again, extensively. And then it's used by those marketing service agencies that don't necessarily have any print capabilities at all. So while it was developed around the needs and specific use case scenarios of a printer, it doesn't, our customers come from all over the place.
Now, your colleague Nick B is
the guy that bumped me.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of fisticuffs going on here.
Yeah.
Nick did actually just have a sensible question there,
okay,
for once.
Yeah. First time for everything, right?
Which is, who should consider multi-channel marketing? I mean, it's kind of one of those leading questions, isn't it? Because everybody can kind of,
really, we sort of talk about those customers that are ready to take that next step in delivering the value chain to their customers. And those, if you're running direct mail campaigns for your customers today, if you are providing web-to-print services, if you are selling customers print via a website, a natural next step is cross-media marketing. You're already in a situation where you're providing an integrated turnkey service. You already have that customer interacting with you online, and you're in a perfect situation to add on these services that are very complementary and again help you as a printer or as a marketing services organization extend that value that you're able to provide to your customers. And the more value you can provide, the less your conversations become about pricing, right?
And also, I mean, I suppose that one barrier to entry maybe with multi-channel is that people think, I don't know, my web game isn't very strong, or my social game isn't strong, or I don't know how I would ever create a personalized image or anything like that. But actually, it's really about just creating a really efficient campaign. It doesn't have to be too complicated, doesn't it? Sometimes the best ones are just simple, but they loop back in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's the basics are what are critical. When it comes to marketing and driving engagement, you make your offer clear, you make your message clear, you provide good value to your customers, and if you're marketing on behalf of them, you make their position and value clear. And with all the different tools that are available today, mobile, as I said, campaign landing pages, QR codes, it's just about making it easier and more accessible for our customers to get their customers' messages out and to enable them to touch their audiences in as many ways as possible.
But it's in the right ways for the message, isn't it? And
correct.
I think that this is maybe something that that we'd really like to get across with personalization of campaigns. Is that you don't it could just be as simple as 3 channels. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm gonna lead this into so I'm a journalist and I'm an editor and I love words, and I got really annoyed with the industry. So I think multi-channel is the right phrase. I think omnichannel, what is that? I mean, you can't use every single channel. And the one that really drives me up the wall, actually, I know you just used it, cross-media. Because cross-media is a phrase we use in the industry, but nobody uses outside it. Do you know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's very... it's very difficult to pick a line here because in many cases you're talking about technology that is two places removed from where it's going to get used, where it's going to hit the ground. So in many cases we're educating our customers about this space and we're having a conversation with them about this technology, but at the end of the day the recipient doesn't care about multi-channel marketing. They're getting an email, they're getting a text, they're getting a mobile message, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm glad you told me that it upsets you. I'm not gonna I'm going to remove it and scrub it from all of our marketing and positioning.
Brilliant.
So
one by one.
But yeah, no, it is difficult. It's a very difficult concept, particularly the latest and innovations that we're releasing right now. This is a good lead-in. One of the things we've just done with the latest platform is we're bringing convergence to the web-to-print technology and to the multi-channel marketing technology. And what we're doing is really democratizing these campaigns. And we're doing that, as you're aware today, a lot of campaigns are driven by a very manual process of customer dealing with marketing services provider, having a conversation about what their goals are, what their objectives are, and then marketing service provider going away in a room, going through a creative process, going through a process of generating artwork, generating layouts and concepts, pulling the campaign assets together, putting the campaign logic together, and then executing, and then reporting back on how those results go. Well, what we're doing is we're trying to really liberate that process by taking that campaign, packaging it up and enabling customers to execute it through the web-to-print platform. So the idea is that an end user can self-serve that campaign. And if you look at the direction that marketing is going in general, that's exactly the way it's going. A lot of these larger organizations in particular are looking to move away from generating mass campaigns centrally and moving towards letting their stakeholders and teams in specific areas execute campaigns on a smaller scale, giving them the tools to say, okay, if you're a salesperson in a specific region, you want to be able to execute a micro campaign directly with your customers. And what that means is you can have a more personalized conversation, but also that you have the power to control when, what the message is and how it's executed. But at the same time you can provide that level of branding control that's necessary with large organizations.
I'm just going to pick up on one of the areas that, particularly with the direct mail aspect of multi-channel marketing, is that I think we get a little bit freaked out sometimes, don't we, by personalization? Sometimes there is a lot of data about us out there that can be captured by a huge number of organizations. What would you give as advice to people thinking about best practice within multi-channel marketing campaigns?
So obviously there are some basics that must be followed all the time. You've got to ensure people are opting in, and you've got to have a rigorous opt-in and opt-out process, and really enable people to give them a clear opportunity when you're talking to them. You get that permission and give them the opportunity to opt out if they don't want to receive that message. The other thing is, of course, you've got to, like all critical data, you've got to treat customer data with all of the necessary care and precaution, and in some cases not just care and precaution, but within the framework of laws in certain jurisdictions, you've got to ensure that you're following local regulation when it comes to safe handling of customer data.
Because, for example, in Germany, there's some quite stringent laws, and I think there's also a new ISO standard, isn't there, that's all about data management?
Correct. It's protocol and a set of guidelines that outline exactly how you should store data, how you should, what the bare minimum requirements are for securing it. So that's a great place to start. But again, these days you really have to be aware of local regulation and jurisdictional protocols.
So Aaron, I'm really pleased that you were able to join us today. And I'm sorry for bumping you a couple of times, but you've got so much to say on Multichannel that actually it might be nice to get you back again next week to have a look at some of the sort of the best practice sides of things. Because I think that's a really really interesting area, and one where in print, if we get that right, then we're going to see much more uptake. But if we get it wrong, it's kind of it's not going to work out. So I've just got two more questions for you.
Sure.
First of all, how many Drupas have you done?
This is my second.
Your second?
Yes.
Okay, was your first last time?
2008 was my last.
You skipped one.
I did.
What happened?
I was in a regional role at Kodak during that time, and you may recall Kodak circa 2012 was
I do, yes.
going through some transition.
Kodak might remember me circa 2012 as well. I might have had a little bust up with Antonio Perez. Yeah, in a press conference. Anyway, so
a lot of people had a bust up with Antonio Perez in 2012.
Okay, so no comment.
I was following some of that as well, so it was good to. It was interesting to watch from the sidelines. I was in a regional role in the US during that time, and you know that you're limited. You're always limited by the number of people that you can bring to these shows.
Of course. And if there's one message you'd like people to take away from EFI and the imaging of things today, what would it be?
Well, you put me on the spot there.
Yeah.
No, if there's one thing you want to take away, boy, I would say come by and see what we've got. We have got so much stuff here, and again, it's from every aspect, every end of a printer's operations. You know, whether it's print management, whether it's estimation, whether it's automation and efficiency tools, whether it's shop floor analytics, or whether it's web to print and e-commerce. We've got the largest, most diverse portfolio of software solutions in the industry. So come by and see us, and we've got something for you.
Fantastic. Aaron, how long are you going to be at Drupa?
I'll be here till the end.
Hey, it's die hard like me. It's been so great. Absolutely. It's been so great having you with us on Periscope with the imaging of things.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for joining us and talking to us about DirectSmile, about Multichannel.